Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are coming back to my channel, considering that none of you are subscribing. Kinda hurts, you know. So, in today's video, there were a lot of news about Turkey being targeted, so I decided to make a video about my own country, considering that, you know, I live here, kinda being the native of this country, and give insights to all of you. Now, first of all, I'm going to start with what really it's like to be a Turk, to be honest. Now, I hope all of you know us for our hospitality, as our social media videos tends to be show us, you know, döner kebab guys and, you know, ice cream guys being hospitable, let's say, and that's generally praised about my culture and about my people. That being said, it isn't the exactly good representation of us, because as hospitable as we are kind of in a, you know, economically not a good times, and these times actually make you realize certain things about your own culture, your own people that you normally wouldn't understand. And I personally, being a generally higher being a guy that generally has higher self-awareness and general awareness, you kind of realize things that most people don't realize. That being, let's start with people of my own people, let's say, is subconsciously being generally Anatolian people, not actually metropolitan people, because metropolitan people don't really, I personally wouldn't consider them Turkish culture as a game mechanic. They are rather metropolitan, you know. I think that if you live in one metropolitan being Istanbul, you can live in another metropolitan without really having that much of difference. You would have differences, but not as much as you know, these people around here would have, let's say. And that being said, generally speaking, people around here subconsciously power hungry. Okay, let's start with that. Subconsciously, they are hunger for power. You can see that through their decision making, rather than their how they conduct themselves. We are hospitable. Like, if you are a starving person who comes to our, you know, we are probably going to take you and give you food. Maybe even if you have bad clothes, we will even give you clothes. Like, being in this country is a good thing generally if you're homeless. However, that doesn't change the reality that people around, you know, especially Anatolian people generally, it doesn't really come from being living in these like rural areas, rather than it comes from generally historical facts, you know. Being power hungry is kind of what kept these people basically alive, because without having that kind of subconscious decision making, you couldn't be alive in 90s, in certain time frames that, let's say, that it would be hard to survive. As that said, I don't think this is a bad thing, because as they are both hospitable and subconsciously power hungry, that kind of equals out each other. It's a strange thing. If you live here, you would understand sometimes that people around here would do certain things for no reason and for no benefit. That being, you know, they don't expect certain things here, but there are certain decisions that they are certainly making to, you know, getting the good side of you, getting the you know, getting to know you because they want certain things from you. Now I know all of you are like, that's literally everybody, but you need to understand one single detail about this is that most of the time most of the people chooses to do these things. Within my culture, it's very subconscious. It's literally engraved on you from when you start learning history, and it's part of our history that we are powering it. Because if you are not as powering as you are, you can't really found 175 plus dynasties around the, you know, world, and that would be impossible with our third understanding. When it comes to my culture, when it comes to my people, there is this understanding that everything has to be done through grit, and grit gives you the highest amount of prestige. If you're an American, which most of you are American and from England that are watching me, you would be probably seeing things like people talking about your, like, billionaires, like people who clearly didn't grit through shit, talking about how their life was hard, like how their life was bad, like, not talking like they came from somewhere like you and I come from. It's not reality. In Turkey, it is very possible that you will find people who are very rich, very wealthy, that actually grit through something. In fact, where I live, which I will not say, there are like local wealthy people, and these local wealthy people, when you learn their backstories, when you learn how they became, you literally go, oh my god, how he is alive. Like, it's strange because prestige, without prestige, even if you are rich, it's like, sure, like, who cares? In fact, I am going to give you a political example on this. In our current day, in our current government, as you know, there are many people within our government, and one of them is being Selçuk Bayraktar. Now, Selçuk Bayraktar came from a somewhat rich, not wealthy, I wouldn't consider his family wealthy, but somewhat rich family, but he still had hardships and married within the government and became part of the government currently and working as the, you know, producer of the Bayraktar. Now, he actually has somewhat of a great story, and if you actually follow Turkish politics within the currently going on, you would realize that he has more, when it comes from above, you know, in intelligence scale, like as we go below, you will realize that within AKP there isn't much people who can replace our current president, that being Erdoğan. But if you ask people if you would be okay with such part, you would actually get an answer that most of the people, like, when I say most, I mean probably higher to somewhere around 50%, will say, yeah, actually he would be good because he has somewhat of a great story, even though his family did help him to build, but he still did suffer very low amounts, but still he still did. It's kind of it's like this. I'm currently making a YouTube video, right? My family consider this to be an easy way out. Let's say if you get 500 subscribers, which I will hopefully get. Hopefully, if you guys subscribe, I will hopefully get that. And if I start making money from YouTube, that's like, you know, making this smart way, making the money start way, existing start way. And to them, that's like why? To them, that's not. It's acceptable, since, you know, you need to exist. Times are hard within this country currently because inflation is high. But it's still like, why didn't you do something more hard? Why didn't you do something more prestige? Like, people around here, when your family comes to you, be like, go find a job. They are telling you, go find a job that we can say people that we are proud of. If they have to get you out of debt, if they have to get you out of, they don't care that your money doesn't pay you well. If they can be like, hey, that job is prestigious, go to that, specifically go to that, rather than the money. Like they don't care. This simple, what I am pointing currently being prestige is matters more to my culture than the money. Interesting, and somewhat pious, being pious person, something like piety matters too. But signaling piety matters more than actually being pious. Just to clarify that. But they consider certain things to be like being hospitable is considered to be a common ground where everybody should be. Like you don't like your let's say you live with one of your relatives right next door. They're like literally right next door, and they come in every day, and you don't like that. That's like, what? What do you mean you don't like that? Like you have to like that. And these understanding of lives comes from Anatolian generally, or not comes from, a generally exists in Anatolian based culture, like culturally based Anatolian families. Now you disclaimer, most of the population currently in Turkey exists in actually metropolitans, not in rural areas. But I myself lived in Istanbul, basically grew up in there. But my family core, my family understanding, and basically my family's culture was much more Anatolian based. In fact, I'm like what 25%, maybe less, maybe like 70% Greek. My family exists around here. A couple of them are Genesis for some reason. I don't know. We are Turks. We shouldn't even be taken to be Genesis in the. We took generally wealthy farmers generally, but some Genesis that I couldn't say that in English for some reason. You know, that's my family line, being traveling to here, but always had this, you know, culture, Anatolian culture within the family, within the entire family tree, that being a lot of people. Now that was the fourth one. There is this understanding on my culture that we can call it like seeing people in charge as father-like, like father of the nation, Atatürk. Now, fun fact, Atatürk, when Sheikh Said, a rebellion popped up in around, I think if I remember correctly, around in here, when it popped up, this Sheikh Said said, I wanna talk with Atatürk. Atatürk said, talk with the Ministry of Armed Forces, like talk with the institution. But Sheikh Said was like, institution, oh, he's not taking us seriously. There is this understanding of father figure, and the leader of the country has to be a father figure. People trust the father figure more than they trust the institutions. This is actually happening currently too with Erdoğan. People who vote for Erdoğan see him as this charismatic father figure rather than someone they voted as a president. Him being charismatic father figure matters to people more than him being a good president or bad president, and that's more important. And they say that there is nobody else to vote for because it actually doesn't. Other parties, leaders doesn't really pick this road, let's say. I think you know, like as a road he picked, let's say August would be very, actually it would fit it a lot, you know, like very prestigious, very charismatic, very father-like figure within the country, because has a really chance to get into these, you know, important positions even if they are nobody. In fact, I think if you look up certain people's backstories, they were basically nobodies that kept power. That's the one thing about my country. You can be nobody, but if you got it, you will be somebody. Interestingly very good side effect, bad effect, I don't know. You say that to me in the comments. now it's the third, fourth, fifth. Our commanders matters so much more than any culture, any countries. Like, if I said to you, tell people who are commanders within your armed forces, you would be like, this person, and maybe this person. If there is a charismatic commander, I'm telling you this. If Osman Pamukoğlu currently went up and be like, I need an army, he will have probably like 1 million people showing up. I kid you not. This is not something like, oh, you know, maybe I am actually under saying that, I'm like, I'm maybe saying the number under the what it's supposed to be. Like, these things matters a lot, and military victories, military bad things that are happening matters a lot. In fact, they literally shape the politics within my country. Like, if you did this, did that, did this corruption, did that, people still vote for you. You fuck up one military operation, you're out. People start doubting your military commanding power. They start doubting in military aspects. They look at your commanders and go, who are these people? What are they doing? These people don't have their capabilities to lead these country's army, and that matters a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. And generally, more Anatolian based, like my based, culturally based people, generally is more right wing, and generally currently, well, historically we are right wing, and our left is like right's left rather than actual, like, it's like this place, this is extreme right, this is the actual, people do their politics in this kind of light. You know, extreme right doesn't like extreme left, is like literally like, bro, what are you talking about? Get out of here, kind of thing. Now, I think I talked about my culture and make you understand my culture very great. No. Second talking point of my current video will be diplomatical positions that my country takes. Now, Turkish government currently being in the power made really good progress with Azerbaijan being basically sworn bodies. Hello to people of Azerbaijan, which is very normal, because I mean, I'm going to say some things about this region that most people will probably not agree. I think, considering that my country's foreign politics being much more open arms, being much more accepting of people, I would, even though we went into wars, that's not a lie, I would say that it would benefit everybody in this Caucasus to actually align with Turkey rather than, you know, the guys upwards. They tend to be, let's say, modern times, but I'm not talking about historically, because doesn't matter at this point. Like, we went past so much things, like a lot of things happening currently, and how about we make the right decisions rather than, you know, dumbass decisions to what I see, let's say. And it would just be better if they aligned with Turkey rather than the guy upwards, because not even because economically or industriously, because of literally decisions when it comes to going, hey, there is a country in Caucasus, what should we do? They go, there is Russian people who speak Russian, and if something happens or they do something we don't like, we will use this as a justification and basically attack them. That Georgia literally lived that. And I think, personally, I think Ermenistan was aware of this and still decided the way it decided because of, I guess, wanting for revenge, even though it's not, you know, bad things happened. They happen. They tend to happen. This is war. When we talk about war, it's an inevitability to not talk about bad things. Now, returning back to my talking point, and through Azerbaijan, there is this line that somehow will name Trump line, Trump Road, I think, something Trump, even though it was Zengezur corridor, to Turan. People say that currently today, Turan's what is going on with Turan isn't enough. I would disagree. In the 90s, this place entirely was under, guess who? Soviets, and they were basically trying to get rid of them. And after certain times, they actually gave them their sovereignty within the Soviet Union. But then Soviet Union, went down and new states formed around. These states are new in this map of history. Like, to us, 5 years is a lot. For history, 5 years is basically a second. For my people to go, oh, the progress in Turan isn't enough, isn't fast enough, is unrealistic expectations from every country there is, because they are literally producing their states newly. Like, they are very new to this. Like, it's been 100 years. Even my country, my own country being Turkey, is new by technicality. We are producing a modern state very newly. It's going good. I think we have allies here. I hope so. I would consider any person from any Turan country to be my sworn brother, sworn blood brother, and that's basically what's going on. And I am very hopeful, and future probably holds a somewhat Turan diplomatical alliances within the Turan, and it's just going to be good. Let's go towards Africa. If I remember correctly, in this Somali line there is I think, if I remember I looked up did I write that down? I didn't write down the place. Somewhere around here there is a port, and within this port we are basically getting oil and other kind of things like gas and making money. It might be this place, considering that it has 5 trade ports. Was it this place? I'm not sure, but I am sure Pate Island trade ports. It might be this place, considering that it has a special building. It might be this place, I'm not sure. Now, it being very, very good for us, I think that our foreign policy in Africa is as best as it can go, and the reason for that is that Africa was already colonized. They already seen at worst things they can ever see, possibly. Like, certain colonizers weren't really, how could I say that without trouble? I don't know, but I think you can imagine in your head that it wasn't really good. And giving 70% profit to people back and we still make profits, but most importantly we make diplomatical movements here, and even like Somali gets their good part. Most importantly, I am now coming to the most important part, that being the army part. The army within there is a army base around here in Somali, and in Somali basically our soldiers train Somali soldiers really good. Security around these places would change actually a lot of thing for the entirety of the world. Security around these places would mean generally better trade, and more trade coming here would mean a lot. Now I don't know if you guys saw it, I was not going to talk about it, but Ugandan Prime Minister's son wanted a beautiful lady, and how much? $1 million? $1 billion? I think he wanted $1 billion. And it was so funny to me, because the reason he says that is that Uganda fights certain terrorist groups around here, and because they fought these certain terrorist groups around it, they actually started fighting them because of they wanted security on their own land. But because we basically, because of this security that's basically established by another country, we make more money on these ports. And they were like, that might be like just the son of the Uganda, the son of the Ugandan. He might just be the son of the Ugandan Prime Minister, saying not that important things to you, but in reality, when it comes to reality, that shows that there is this understanding between Ugandan politicians, how much you can consider them politicians, considering that they are dictators, but there is a basic understanding between father and son, that the son is more brave to tell, let's just say, to what they want and what they think. And I think it's completely null, because you fought them because you wanted security for your own land. You started to fight them just because we gained an advantage because you did something shouldn't mean that you should get something from us. Thirdly, now do I start with that, or should I start with that? Should I start the military? I mean, first of all, I should probably go back to my own country, that being here. And I don't know if you guys saw it on Amazon and other places, but actually, first of all, the industrial hub of this current world is 100% China. That's without a doubt. That's the main guy. However, there is a secondly, I think my country makes a lot of makes a lot of goods that if you guys actually look at Amazon, you can see somewhat of goods made in Turkey. It is making movements on industrial parts. It's expanding its industry as much as it can, and basically trying to become an industrial hub for the West. And I think it's very successful at what's going on that part. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but there is an economical problem within my country. That country being high inflation, high taxes, and generally just bad economy. However, that's the part where it matters to me and not to you, as you being an American and generally American and somewhat minority being from England. That doesn't really bother you, even if you say it does. In reality, it doesn't. I know that. And now, more political side of this is that I'm going to connect to is that Larry Fink, being the CEO of BlackRock, came to the country, talked with President Erdoğan, and signed the basically contract for 14 trillion dollars. This included financial things and generally just rail mineral rights. Now, this is a good move because Erdoğan said that the main reason that this is getting done is that the main reason that he's doing this is that what was I going to say? 14 trillion. Yeah, fixing the economy. Yeah. Main reason is that he's trying to fix the economy. Most importantly, he said while saying this is that he's trying to make Istanbul a new financial hub for world to have come in and make investments for, which is just wanted to say it. Now, another talking point for my country is that the fact that we somehow have the biggest reserve after China, that being 694 million ton rare mineral earths in Eskişehir. And I looked up certain things like how much China stock, and China has like somewhat 1 billion, 2 billion. They have insane amount of in stock. They are basically, it seems like they are preparing for a war or some kind anyway. And America actually has like very low, like last time I checked, was it 1 million? I think it was they were trying to get it, more and more in stock, but I think the bigger reason that it's not very low stock is that they are making investments on AI and basically focusing their rare minerals to chips, basically, chips to produce AI stuff, even though most of the AI stuff is just for digital media and not for actual industry or anything physical. But I guess we are going to see it in the future that is changing. Well, I did see a video, someone's video, that's saying that 50% of the AI data centers being closed down for different reasons, basically, and either getting stopped or either completely getting cut and stopping from them their construction. And I saw one more video that about different kind of GPU production that apparently was invented rather in close times. Strange things going on, and I think America needs this 694 million ton reserve of rare minerals, and I hope that they will never attack us, considering that there is talks of this. And like Eskişehir is like around where was it? Eskişehir, sometimes I forget my own country. That's Ankara, that's Çankırı, Kastamonu, Zonguldak is around here. There is Sakarya, Samsun, there is Sivas, Zile, Koçlu. From this map I can't seem to remember, but it is considered Anatolian city, so it's within mountains, not easy to conquer, let's just say. Now that's industry, economy, China, reserves, military stuff after this, or Yeah, military stuff after this. So let's come down to military stuff. Very newly, my country designed a very horrifying weapon of war, that being basically Gazap. Did I think I called it anyway. Sure. And Gazap missile apparently can take the oxygen in your lungs, even though there is a wall. You know, there is a wall behind you and missile, and you're like, oh, I'm safe. Apparently you're not. It seems horrible. Good thing we have it and not certain other people. They are trying to add certain modifications to this specific missile that allows it to be penetrate bunkers, and bunkers being really important for different reasons. First of all, there is civilian bunkers. Yeah, but I think civilian bunkers is not places that would my country hit civilian bunkers? I don't know. But considering that in Iran their nuclear facility was underground and being an actual bunker, and America shot the bunker through stealth bomber B-52, B-56, B-52, I think B-52, I'm not sure. And they shot this bunker. That I think showed a real important fact to us, that bunkers are going to be very commonly used. In fact, last time I watched the documentary, there was basically Black Ops operations going on in here, in Taiwan and in Japan, in these small islands that you see that has in these places, and they apparently both China and America building a lot of bunkers here, and I think this showcased the importance of, you know, bunker penetrating is not the right word, bunker piercing missiles, and considering that Gazap has the ability to take your oxygen out of your lungs, I think that makes it even better. Yeah, it isn't used, but I think Pakistan ordered it, and it will be getting 2028. It will literally get like 48 missiles at the first batch, and they are apparently very thrilled to get it. That being one of the technological things. Now other technological capabilities of my country being Kaan and Bayraktar. I'm starting with Bayraktar. Bayraktar is just insanely effective. Like Bayraktar is without a doubt one of the most effective and most heard of. You know, I think if you actually watch military YouTubers and military X, if you follow military X pages, I think you heard of it very clearly, and even its basically prestige of Bayraktar's name shows you how effective it was, and it was used in Ukraine, it was used in generally in Israel, because of the last video. It's my mind is at Israel. Apparently something happened here again. Watching too much politics have your brain going to thousand miles an hour basically. Sorry, Syria. Sorry, I watch too much politics, man. I don't even just watch it, I basically research too. That makes my brain basically go 1,000 times. So Bayraktar has capabilities to carry around, was it 4? Was it 2? Last time I checked it was 2 missiles on its on as a cargo. So now to the next one. Khan, unmanned fighter. Was it a jet? I don't remember it being jet. Hopefully jet. Unmanned fighter jet. Couldn't be a better, considering that in Iran there was an operation to, let's say, rescue certain Air Force member. So considering, you know, recent news about this, I think having unmanned fighters would be better, because you don't have to be thinking about getting the members of your Air Force, you know, saving them. You know, you wouldn't have to think about them. And I think something that is not being think about is that I think you can get much more offensive with your fighter jets, considering they are unmanned. You know, there's no man in there, so that means you can try doing things that normally a human that's physically there wouldn't be brave enough to, you know, try and do, because there's a difference between being fearless and being brave. And everybody can be brave, which is, there's a lot of people being brave in military service, respect to all of them. However, like I said, there's a difference between biological braveness and mechanical fearless, you know, killing machines basically. So I think it's a really good development. They said 2028. However, I don't know, probably they are going to produce it faster than they are saying, because of the things that are happening, and very hostile actions are being taken by certain countries towards Turkey. So I think it's going to be made faster than in 2028. Even if not made faster, I think, or put it into production faster, I think they are going to make like attempts to try these projects on battlefield before something can happen, and see how much effective they are. No. Another talking point of my country's explanation of is geological military things that are okay. Basically, geologic. You need to understand something. You see here, you see this place. Don't include Syria and Iraq. You see that place? It's mountains. There's nothing else. It's either mountains or it's basically mountains or plains. There is nothing else. In plains there are either rural or either you know, cities, urban areas. You know, it's basically, you know, the world basically decided that this place should be the most protective place on earth. Like the amount of mountains there are is insane. It's true. If you look at the map, it's basically, you take something like this, including these parts and like these parts too, like it's basically just mountains. In fact, I went to Kastamonu, and when I went to Kastamonu, we went to visit a friendly you know, a friend of my family, let's say, like a family that's friend. I basically grew up with them in Istanbul, and someone I very like died. Their father died, and I really liked him. He was a very great man. May he rest in peace. And we went to their town, basically in Kastamonu, rather than he was working at a navy, not navy, sorry, at a navy transportation company, and he died around Cezayir, if I remember correctly. He died around Cezayir, and they wanted to bury him in his town because he really liked his town and basically gave a lot of money to his town. When this was told to me, I thought his town was like my family's town, being my family's town in Istanbul, in Mahmut Şevket Pasha. In Mahmut Şevket, fun fact about my family, Mahmut Şevket Pasha was like when the migration treaty between Turkey and Greece were signed, and Turkish families were going to Turkey, and Greece families in Turkey are going to Greece. Mahmut Şevket Pasha basically went, these people should basically have a place they should call home, and basically gave a town to us in Istanbul. Great guy. I couldn't explain how much of a great guy that he is. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, that was a fun fact. And he said, the guy that's like being a very close friend of my family, said that he wanted to be, buried in his town, and he helped with his town with a lot. He was making a good amount of money, and he sent a lot of money to his town. So we went there. I personally think that how it's going to be like exactly how it was in Istanbul. Istanbul's town is like you literally get out of Istanbul for a certain amount of time, and boom, you're in a town. It's like it's not much of a town anymore. Even like I guess it's a town. I don't know. I wouldn't even consider it town anymore. But when we started our journey from Istanbul to Kastamonu, I was like, oh, we are going to go to somewhere easy to go, somewhere easy to go on road. We started going, and then we came to a literal mountain, and I was like, oh, I guess we are going to go around the mountain. We looked at the literal Google Maps, and Google Maps said that the town was literally at the highest point of the not the highest, but very high point of the mountain, and we were like, we couldn't believe. We were like Google Maps has to be wrong about this, and we called them, and we were like, hey, we were going to make a surprise and come to the funeral, and we were on the wrong road, sorry, and I think Google Maps is telling us giving us a very wrong location, and they were like, oh no, that's the actual place. When I tell you that we were like circling around the mountain trying to go to the town, I mean it. It's literally so strange. Like the town is literally, there is like a certain, like it's certain, somewhere upwards to in the mountain, there is like a literal, it goes like this, and they have a road like that goes to like this, and the town is literally there. The view is, it's the most beautiful view you could ever think of. However, it's so scary. They have a literal town. They do farming and cattle. They raise cattle and other things there, and it's so insane. There is no gas, there is no like even electricity is like barely there. It's barely there. Like they pull from other houses and things like that. Anyway, just to make you understand how hard of a country that to conquer this generally country is. Like this country is a living fortress that you take here, this place is going to come up with insane amount of numbers of soldiers, and just it's pointless to try to get in. Basically, it's just pointless. Like from deepest part of my soul, I am telling you this, that this country, especially this like coastal side where it is in plains but completely hills and mountains, it is basically a hellhole for any army to go, even our own country to go. Just to make you understand, it's a hellish logistical like land. Even our own, even my own country's army suffered casualties from because of these logistical problems that comes from the land itself, the train itself. However, because of historical logistical things that happened within my country and certain terrorist organization being PKK and other terrorist organization Al-Qaeda and Daesh, because of these constantly fighting these terrorist organization, my country adopted a different kind of special operations training than currently modern countries have, like European and even American ones are much more professionalism and CQB and generally things that focus on organization and discipline. These things are apparent on my country's special operations too. However, it's much, and I say this with complete certainty, it's much more terrain focused than other things. We do, like I said, we do other things. It's like they focus on that, we focus on that kind of situation, and that's because there is basically a desert. I mean, in our close neighbors that are having problems, there is deserts. Not within my country. I don't think my country has deserts. There is mountains and winter, a lot of snow. So you have to make people that have understanding how to fight in that place, in that terrain. There is mountains for Jandarma looks at rural places and generally mountains. So they generally focus on Jandarma Spec Ops generally focus on rural operations, rural terrains, being mountains, generally being mountains. And Bordo Bereliler Spec Ops being generally, it's much more, Bordo Bereliler is actually much more, rather than terrain focus, it's much more like, I guess, it's much more Delta Force focused rather than terrain focused. It was terrain focused when they got founded in 90s, but after I think especially after what happened in Iraq, they changed it to much more Delta Force kind of way, and they changed it to much more professionalism, much more organization focused Spec Ops doctrine. And the one that I wish to talk about is Police Spec Ops, being Polis Özel Harekat, being Police Spec Ops. Now I call Police Spec Ops, but most people, especially those who are American, is like, oh, SWAT. I wanna make the distinction very clear. I think Police Özel Harekat is much more military kind than police kind. SWAT is much more police kind than military kind, because the difference comes from basically the training itself and experience. Basically, it comes from these two things. Police Özel Harekat has been taking foreign urban, like they've been sent to foreign urban cities to get into firefights. They are not focused on they're not city guards, you know what I mean? You have castles, and castles have city guards. And if you know Game of the Thrones, in Game of the Thrones there is golden cloaks, yellow cloaks, golden cloaks, I think golden cloaks, and they are much more like city guards but higher version. SWAT is much more like that, even though they are very good funded, very like a lot of money. Generally any American institution funded more than Turkish organization, but I think generally speaking Police Özel Harekat is much more like I said, military doctrine rather than police doctrine, and they historically responded to a lot of military operations too, and went there and served there. Very big respect to everybody that served. Now, when those Spec Ops, as you know, is probably like Man at Arms. Actually, Man at Arms actually fits Spec Ops a lot, like a lot. Basically, Man at Arms, if you having a hard time to imagine it in your head, and these Man at Arms, like I said, much more terrain focused Man at Arms rather than certain other things like organization and damage and other things. Think of the difference between horse archer and horse archers in this game, as you know, focus on terrain advantages, having advantages. Like, why can't I say that? Advantages on plains, flatlands, and think of, actually there was this Byzantine Varangian guards, winter focused, heavy infantry. How much? Not that much. Yeah, see, they are not that terrain focused and much more focused on toughness and damage and things like that. The difference is kinda like that, to make you understand. Now, when it comes to normal levies are not conscripted people. Okay, to make you understand better, they are not conscripted people. I'm gonna talk about that one too. But levies being lower rank infantry, lower rank normal soldiers generally around the armed forces, and they tend to be more terrain focused too, because as a difference from America and generally other modern countries, like this country is has much more terrain differences, so much that you have to train even your normal low rank soldier in how to fight in hills, in how to fight in certain conditions like too hot or too cold, on desert or on snow, on mountains, on snowy mountains, and even the normal levies are different on that regard. In this country, there is something called conscription. You get conscripted, giving a gun, basically teaching you how to be very disciplined when it comes to military discipline. Like if you're going around in a country and there is a war going on and they take you randomly from the street, if you actually got conscripted and took the training, then that means that you will, when they give you orders, they will understand the orders given to you. They can conduct what they want from you. They can understand what they want from you, and you will not show undisciplined and generally what normal human beings who never seen gun, never seen an uniform would show. But you show somewhat of a very high level discipline, actually very high level discipline, because that's what they literally want you to learn, a very high level of discipline and camaraderie, like having this understanding of you guys are brothers, you will die for you, and make you understand that, so that if anything happens, whatever the age you are, even if you are 50s, when they take you can be much more ready for what is coming to your way. It's basically a very war-ready population in Turkey, I would say. Like, it's very war-ready population in a very high level of preparation for war in sociologically in Turkey. Fun fact, certain Israeli outlets have been threatening and saying that Turkey is the next target, and I don't think that's a smart move. If you listen to the things I'm saying, I hope you understand that's not really the smartest move any country can do, because like for anything logistical, this place is living hell. There is no way you are going to do anything. You think Iran is bad? Iran still has somewhat of flatlands on its northern and northeast sides. Like, this country is generally mountainous. There is no way that you can do it. Yeah, you can bomb it, of course, but come and take this? No way. I don't believe anybody is strong enough to achieve that. And what I wanna say is that from certain developments happen in Middle East, in Syria, I would personally think that there is a way for Turkey to have a physical and much more direct ground, in ground kind of fighting would happen, rather than you bomb me, I bomb you kind of thing happening. And it wouldn't be something like Hezbollah or something like that, because of the things happened in Syria, those things being Syria becoming one land rather than separated from each other, and Turkey having a very big role in this with its intelligentsia, especially with its intelligentsia and other kind of support. So that's what I would be considering. Well, or my 12th talking point being, very shortly, I'm going to talk about its capability, my country's capabilities on the sea. Interestingly enough, my country developed a carrier, plane carrier that's much more smaller side, but it can carry UAVs or Bayraktars and Khans. And I think that, considering that basically the focus on UAVs, general unmanned fighters and unmanned planes being much more focused on in my country, that means that they are going to be put in production and generally focus on small aircraft, because, well, the technology change and having bigger aircraft isn't that efficient on money side, because now you can just shoot it. It wasn't possible for to be able to shoot it for a very long time, but now you can just shoot it with a missile and have a very like 1 in 4th kind of chance to make it sink. So it's not the wisest decision to produce the biggest one anymore. However, my country generally has a good amount of destroyers, good amount of, it's not America level, since America is basically the world's police through its navy, considering that America is a outlier rather than an example. Well, it's an example too, but it's a much more outlier rather than something to be used as a example. I would consider that my country's navy to be above average, let's just say. And when it comes to general outlook of my country, there is just singular thing that we don't have, that being nuclear missiles. Yep, remember those basically cheat codes of this general world when it comes to military and diplomatic talks, because you can force people to do things that normally you can't, and maybe you can even oppress people in a very ridiculous way and get away with it thanks to having those kind of weapons of mass destruction. So the video is done. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys subscribe it. Remember, remember, I see you. I see you. I see where you are. I see where you watch me from, and it wouldn't hurt you to subscribe to my channel. I am trying to make use of this game's mechanics, and I'm just generally trying to make use of this game to make everybody understand everything that's going on better, because I myself use this understanding sometimes, not always, but sometimes I use this understanding to make sense of things that normally I cannot understand. Normally this video was posted after the intelligentsia video that I was going to use estate mechanics, and we have billionaires are much more like estate owners in Byzantine mechanics, and landless adventurers being much more close to agents of intelligentsia and things like this. I was gonna talk about things like this, make a video about that. However, after seeing headlines international headlines on Turkey being targeted, I decided that it would be better to talk about this, considering that this is very new. I hope you guys liked it. Again, please subscribe. It wouldn't hurt nobody to subscribe. I'm going to continue doing this content, being CK3 logic, politics through CK3 logic. That's what I decided to name it, and this will continue on. So subscribe and click the bell, please. Come on, I'm working over here.